Welcome to another edition of, hey, look, Mr. Hunt's not here. I am home pumping water out of my basement again. I am sorry, and I've been up most of the night doing it, so I'm a little bit out of my head right now. But I do want to try and explain to you a new skill in Soundation. I'm trying to give you new things each time. I'm trying to help you to increase the awesomeness of your songs for your game. I know some of you think, well, I'm almost done with that. I've got my 6 or whatever. Honestly, your first few might not be so great. You might want to go back and review them. You might want to do more than 6 so that you can have your best possible songs. We're going to be in Soundation for a few more class periods. There are a lot of people that still need more time, and there are several more little tricks and skills that you need to know that you might want to use to help make your songs even better. So watch carefully, listen carefully to this new thing. It's pretty awesome. Let's say you have a good foundational beat that you're really pleased with, and you're going to use it, over and over in the song, like beat funky, and you've gotten really good at finding other samples to put with it, and I like what I'm seeing so far along those lines, but I know how it goes. You find something and you like it, and it works pretty well with it, but man, if only you had a little bit more control, if only you could just use a part of it and not the whole thing. For instance, listen to organ grime right here. Right? That's a big, long sample. There's a lot to it. I'm going to pull it over. And, it would play pretty well along with this beat. It goes with it. It's in the same, rhythm. And you probably could be pretty happy with it the way it is. But I'm going to mute this other channel for right now. If I play this and watch the playhead move across this sample, I can find the exact part that I like the best, and maybe that's the only part that I want to use. Okay, so watch. I really like the staccato stuff that goes on right through here. The rest of it's nice, but what if, man, if I could just every now and then bring this in without any of the rest, it'd be a nice surprise in the song. So, you see how I've clicked and I've put my playhead right at the beginning of that part of the sample. I've clicked up here in the timeline so that the playhead falls across the sample right where I want to clip it off. And what you do then is you left click on the sample so that it's highlighted. You right click and choose the first choice, split at playhead. Gives you 2 pieces. Well, I don't want this piece on the left, so I highlight it and delete it. Now, where does this end? Okay? Right? Pretty easy to figure that out. I would click up here in the timeline and try and establish where it ends. And you can zoom in more and more and more, see, to make sure that you're right. When in doubt, just click somewhere else. And get it to the point where, okay, the sound has just ended. I've got my playhead falling across the sample in the right place. Left click to highlight, right click, split at playhead. I only want to keep this part, so I left click on this part and I delete. Okay? Now, let me zoom back out a little bit. And what I've got now is a nice little chunk that I can put in where I think it needs to maybe go. Okay? I'm going to unmute this. Okay, and if I wanted to repeat it, I could highlight it and then right-click copy, click in the channel, right-click paste, and I could put it where I think it needs to go. Now, keep in mind, I know some of you have figured out already that you can make like a sample repeat itself by grabbing a corner and pulling, okay, and it'll make that repeat, and that's a useful thing to do, okay. It doesn't work for every sample, but it works for a lot of them where you can pull them out and have the sample repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay? With clipped samples, that is not always the best course. A lot of times when you try pulling out a clipped sample, rather than it repeating, what it'll do a lot of times is if it does repeat, is there can be a strange gap at the beginning or at the end that you didn't account for that puts the timing off a little bit. And so pulling it out might not be your best bet. Okay, with clipped samples, a lot of times what's best to do is to just highlight it, and then right-click copy and right-click paste each time you want to use it. Okay, that is usually a safer bet. You can get more than one. See how I'm doing that? And, you know, it'll speed things up, especially if you're going to do it at regular intervals. You can do it like I'm doing here, where I drag and highlight, and I can move them all together, and then I can drag them all and highlight them and copy them all together. Okay? See how that works? Now, you know, see what this sounds like all together. Zoom out a little bit. And try it out. Okay? You get it? Okay? That's clipping a sample. Try it out seriously. Give it a shot. Take pieces of a sample and work it into what you've got. Okay? Good luck, and I'm excited to hear what you make.